it's important for students to understand and respect other people and other cultures. Moving on. So these are standards for kindergarten through 5th grade, this section of the document. These are college and career readiness anchor standards. From my understanding of college and career readiness anchor standards, they are super basic, what students should be able to do, should understand and be able to do by the end of each grade. For instance, this one, read closely to determine what the text says explicitly and make logical inferences from it. Cite specific textual evidence when writing or speaking to support conclusions drawn from the text. From my understanding, these are general, broad, what students should be able to do, and the standards themselves on the next page go into more depth on what is actually expected in each grade level. For instance, there's a lot more detail in the standards than in the overall college and career readiness anchor standards. All of these details for each grade, and also I like how they're based on what different grade levels should be able to do. For instance, for reading standards for 3rd through 5th grade, for reading standards for literature, there is a standard for kindergarten that says, no, this isn't kindergarten. This is reading standards for literature, 3rd grade, standard 3. And 3rd graders are supposed to be able to describe characters in a story, their traits, motivations, or feelings, and explain how their actions contribute to the sequence of events. They basically need to describe the characters and tell how they contribute to the story, how the sequence of events in the story. And then their ability goes up in 4th grade. They're supposed to be able to describe a character in depth or setting or event, drawing on specific details in the text, like the character's thoughts, words, and actions. It's a step up from 3rd grade. Then in 5th grade, it's even a step up from 4th grade. Now the students are supposed to compare and contrast 2 or more characters, settings, or events, drawing on specific details in the text. So again, specific details, but this time we're comparing and contrasting 2 or more. So you see that the standards for the different grades are similar, but they go up as the students' abilities go up, ideally. Ideally, the students will be able to do more. I may end up teaching 2nd grade in the future. I wanted to look at some of those 2nd grade standards. For instance, this one, reading standards for literature, 2nd grade. This one, reading literature, 2nd grade, standard 7. This one says, use information gained from the illustrations and words in a print or digital text to demonstrate understanding of its characters, setting, or plot. So 2nd grade students need to be able to look at the pictures and the words in print or digital to understand what the text is saying or what is being shared. That's a step up from 1st grade, which has illustrations and details, but now we use the information to demonstrate understanding. A sample 2nd grade reading standards for informational text would be, there are lots of them, but I looked at this one. reading standards for informational text for 2nd grade, Standard 6. Identify the main purpose of a text. Again, main purpose. That's what it's looking for. Main purpose of a text, including what the author wants to answer, explain, or describe. So these 2nd graders should be able to, by the end of the year, determine what the author is trying to say, the main purpose. Another standard, foundational skills, reading standards for foundational skills. There are some of those in 2nd grade too. I'm not going to go into depth with that. Again, there are college and career readiness anchor standards for each of these subsets, but they look like overall standards. I'm looking at the detailed standards right now. I guess they all go together. One sample writing standard for 2nd grade is writing standards for 2nd grade, Standard 1. Write opinion pieces in which they introduce the topic or book they are writing about, state an opinion, supply reasons that support the opinion, use linking words, for instance, because, and also to connect opinion and reasons, and provide a concluding statement or section. So they're supposed to be able to have an introduction, state an opinion, supply reasons, and use the words that connect the opinion and reasons, and then have a concluding statement or section. I noticed that it's a step up from 1st grade, which is in 1st grade they introduce the topic or the book, state an opinion, supply a reason, and some sense of closure. So in 2nd grade they need to do a topic, opinion, multiple reasons, linking words, and then a concluding statement or section. A lot more detail there. There are also speaking and listening standards. These are the anchor standards for speaking and listening. Some 2nd grade speaking and listening standards, or one of them, is speaking and listening standards, 2nd grade, Standard 3. Ask and answer questions about what a speaker says in order to clarify comprehension, gather additional information, or deepen understanding of a topic or issue. So 2nd graders should, by the end of the year, be able to ask questions, understand what is being shared more, and deepen their understanding of a topic or issue. I found this interesting, or at least it's good to know, and then I think it goes down to other standards for other grades. But it's important to know the standards that we'll be teaching to. These are the Idaho curricular standards, Idaho content standards. Each state has standards, whether they be the Common Core standards or some variation, and it's important to know those standards and teach to them.